Fast food breakfast looks simple on the surface, but behind the scenes, it is one of the most carefully optimized profit systems in the food industry. What appears to be a low-price morning meal is actually a combination of habit psychology, operational efficiency, cheap ingredients, and perfectly timed demand. Breakfast may generate smaller bills than lunch or dinner, but it delivers something far more valuable to businesses: predictable, repeatable, high-margin revenue. The first and most important reason fast food breakfast is so profitable is routine. Morning behavior is extremely rigid. People wake up at similar times, follow the same routes, and face the same time pressure every day. Unlike lunch or dinner, which can vary based on mood, company, or cravings, breakfast decisions are automatic. When people are tired, rushed, and half awake, they don't want to explore options or compare prices. They want something familiar, fast, and reliable. Once a fast food chain becomes part of someone's morning routine, it often stays there for years. Habit reduces price sensitivity. When a purchase becomes automatic, people stop consciously evaluating whether it's worth the money. The decision shifts from, should I buy this, to, where do I stop today? This psychological shift is incredibly valuable. Businesses no longer need to convince customers daily. The habit does the work for them. Breakfast also aligns perfectly with traffic patterns. Fast food restaurants are strategically placed along commuter roads, near intersections, highways, office clusters, and school. Morning traffic flows directly past these locations. Customers don't need to make a special trip. The restaurant is already in their path. That convenience dramatically increases visit frequency and reduces friction, which makes repeated spending feel effortless. Operational simplicity is another major profit driver. Breakfast menus are usually smaller than lunch or dinner menus. Fewer items mean fewer ingredients, fewer cooking steps, and fewer opportunities for mistakes. Simpler menus lower training time, reduce waste, and speed up service. When operations are simpler, costs drop across the board. Breakfast food is also fast to prepare. Eggs, bread, potatoes, and coffee cook quickly and require less complex equipment than many lunch or dinner items. Faster cooking means faster service. Faster service means more customers served per hour. When volume increases without expanding staff or space, profitability rises sharply. Ingredient costs play a critical role as well. Breakfast relies heavily on low-cost staples. Eggs, flour, bread, potatoes, and coffee are relatively inexpensive compared to meats and specialty ingredients used later in the day. Even when prices fluctuate, breakfast ingredients remain among the cheapest in the food supply chain. This creates strong margins even when menu prices appear low. Coffee deserves special attention because it is one of the highest margin items in food service. Once the machines are installed, the cost of producing a cup of coffee is extremely low. Milk, sugar, and flavorings add minimal expense, yet customers willingly pay premium prices, especially in the morning. Coffee alone can cover a large portion of a restaurant's operating costs during breakfast hours. Coffee also acts as a gateway purchase. Many customers come in for coffee and then add food items without much thought. A sandwich or hash brown feels like a small extra, but those add-ons often have excellent margin. This increases average order value while maintaining the illusion of affordability. Time pressure further strengthens breakfast profitability. Morning customers are often in a hurry. When people are rushed, they prioritize speed and convenience over price. A difference of $1 or $2 feels insignificant compared to the risk of being late. This makes breakfast customers less price sensitive than customers later in the day. Drive-thru usage amplifies this effect. Breakfast traffic is heavily concentrated in drive-thrus. Drive-thrus reduce the need for dining space, lower cleaning costs, and increase throughput. More cars per hour means more revenue without increasing rent or floor area. Drive-thru efficiency is one of the strongest profit levers in fast food breakfast. Breakfast also fills what would otherwise be unproductive hours. Without breakfast service, many restaurants would open later or operate with minimal traffic in the early morning. Breakfast transforms slow hours into revenue-generating ones. Since fixed costs like rent, utilities, and equipment exist regardless of time, any additional sales during these hours significantly improve overall profitability. Another hidden advantage is predictability. Breakfast demand is remarkably consistent. Lunch and dinner traffic can fluctuate based on weather, events, or social plans. Breakfast demand, on the other hand, is stable. People still go to work in the rain, they still commute in winter. This predictability allows managers to schedule staff more efficiently and reduce labor waste. Labor efficiency is especially important. Breakfast shifts often require fewer employees because menus are simpler and tasks are repetitive. Employees can be trained quickly, and workflows become highly standardized. Predictable rush times mean staffing levels can be optimized, minimizing idle labor and overtime. Portion perception also plays a role. Breakfast foods feel filling even when portions are smaller. Bread, eggs, and potatoes create satiety quickly. Customers feel satisfied without requiring large quantities of ingredients. This keeps food costs low while maintaining perceived value. Pricing psychology further enhances profitability. Breakfast prices are intentionally set low enough to feel safe. A lower price point reduces resistance, especially early in the morning when people are not mentally prepared to spend. Customers think of breakfast as a small daily expense rather than a discretionary purchase. This framing encourages frequent visits. Frequency is where breakfast truly shines. Many customers buy fast food breakfast multiple times a week, sometimes daily. Even if individual tickets are smaller, the lifetime value of a breakfast customer can be enormous. 5 purchases per week over years adds up to thousands of dollars per customer. Limited availability also increases demand. Breakfast is only served during specific hours. This time restriction creates urgency. Customers adjust their schedules to catch breakfast before it ends, increasing traffic during a narrow window. Concentrated demand improves efficiency and makes operations easier to manage. Menu engineering is another quiet contributor. Breakfast items are designed to maximize margin while appearing generous. A breakfast sandwich made with inexpensive ingredients can be priced attractively while still delivering strong profit. Adding cheese or meat increases price more than cost, expanding margins further. Digital ordering has pushed breakfast profitability even higher. Mobile apps allow customers to order ahead, reducing congestion and errors. Pre-orders improve forecasting and speed up service. Apps also reinforce habits through rewards and reminders, locking breakfast into daily routines. Marketing costs for breakfast are surprisingly low. Once habits are formed, customers return automatically. Businesses don't need constant promotions to drive morning traffic. Routine replaces persuasion. This lowers customer acquisition costs and improves long-term margins. Breakfast also strengthens brand attachment. Morning visits create frequent touch points with customers. That familiarity increases trust and makes customers more likely to return later in the day. Breakfast becomes a gateway to future purchases, reinforcing brand loyalty across all meals. Packaging costs are lower as well. Breakfast items are easier to wrap, carry, and consume. Simpler packaging reduces material costs and speeds up service. Less mess also means lower cleanup time and expense. Emotional comfort plays a subtle but important role. Morning food is associated with warmth, stability, and routine. When people are tired or stressed, familiar breakfast items provide reassurance. Emotional comfort increases loyalty and reduces experimentation with competitors. Seasonal breakfast items can create short bursts of excitement without disrupting efficiency. Limited time offerings attract attention and bring customers back while keeping the core menu intact. Once the promotion ends, operations return to their optimized baseline. The psychology of starting the day right further justifies spending. Customers frame breakfast purchases as investments in productivity, mood, or energy. This reduces guilt and increases consistency. Skipping breakfast feels worse than spending a few dollars on it. Breakfast customers are also less likely to complain. Expectations are simpler. Speed and consistency matter more than customization or presentation. This reduces friction, refunds, and service recovery costs. Importantly, fast food chains rarely need to heavily discount breakfast. Demand is already strong. Stability allows businesses to protect margins rather than chase volume with promotions. Over time, gradual price increases normalize higher spending. What once felt expensive slowly becomes routine. Customers adapt and the habit remains intact. In the end, fast food breakfast is profitable because it aligns perfectly with human behavior. It fits into daily routines, reduces decision-making, and delivers comfort quickly. Low ingredient costs, operational simplicity, high coffee margins, and extreme visit frequency turn a modest meal into a powerful profit engine. Breakfast may look cheap on the menu, but for fast food businesses, it is one of the smartest and most reliable revenue systems they operate.